Taiga is an indie streamer who, I don't know the whole story, but Taiga was outed to be a
It just says, we're sorry you can't access this item because it is in violation of our terms of service. It doesn't specify why, as these things typically don't. There's an archive. I might regret this. Right. I don't feel bad about this guy being called a pedophile. Sorry. We're not talking, damn, looks kinda young. We're talking like, that's a toddler. It is all cartoon stuff, so it is itself. It's not abuse of children, but you're still a freak if that turns you on. Minors do not belong in a space of adult-themed content. True. We had one minor on the entire server who we met during a Destiny 2 raid, if I recall correctly. They were given a role that blocked them from interacting with any not safe for work channel as soon as we found out. The person in question was suicidal, and the moderation team as a team decided giving them that role. Minors should not hang out with adults who are gooning all day in Discord. Unless they're suicidal, then we have to let them in, but give them a special role. That's weird as hell. That's very strange. The claims of me not caring or not removing it is nothing more than a blatant lie. Please hear me out to make your judgment. Heard you out. I saw the archive of the document. Not a big fan of you. Not a big fan of you. Sorry you were born wrong. We have the other side of the coin. I believe this is an individual who hates Nux Taku because of his denouncement of the lolicon community. This is the other side of the coin. Is my understanding... Thumbnail. No one responsible for ruining my life will ever be held accountable. I'm still deplatformed. And everyone will move on to something else in another week. Construction yard! Now! It's legal though! A child's not being hurt! Yeah, but... it's also legal to insult and hate you. A child is not being hurt in that instance either. Ta-da!
Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So today we're going to take some time and talk about the ongoing Taiga situation. I know a lot of people have...
What's up guys, Repair. Ongoing Taiga situation.
I've been waiting for my coverage of what's going on, but I wanted to take my time to craft this video in a way that's actually going to be productive, or hope to be productive, for Taiga's situation, and also for Taiga's reputation that continues to be smeared by false allegations. So who is Taiga? Well, they are a femboy VTuber who's been around for many years. In fact, their YouTube channel was...
femboy. I'm getting a chromosome read, it's coming up XX.
Approaching 200,000 subscribers. Unfortunately, about a month and a half ago, his channel was...
I think I'm going to kill myself.
...removed entirely.
No, you're free. You've been released. It's hard to give it up on your own unless you're banned, but it's poison that kills you.
...entirely from YouTube, and the policy that he apparently violated was nudity and...
Oh, we had a he dropped there.
...sexual content.
Rev, presumably, is a they-oid like me. A they-oid like me who, tends to say they a lot.
Now, Taiga does make some content that is lewder, but it is nothing close to full-on nudity or explicit sexual content. In fact, the type of content he makes is very common in the VTubing scene among channels that don't get their entire channel taken away, like...
There's another direction you can go with that one. When is this gonna be me? I've already VTubed before. I used a PNG of an egg. We are going to get an example of the kind of Taiga, like, you might be able to say, if you're going to say they do stuff that's in line with the other channels, I think it's totally safe. You're throwing your hat in, show me an example of something that's kind of risque, but you think is safe. Show it to me.
And unfortunately, his appeal to this decision would be rejected on July 2nd. However, the very next day, his channel would suddenly return with an official statement from YouTube saying their content is free to exist on YouTube. However, 6 hours after that, the channel was removed again, just 6 hours later after returning. And besides the cruelty of dangling this channel in front of...
The cruelty of dangling this channel. Stop! They're not actually 5 years old, the character just looks that way.
...of Taiga and then taking it back. Also, Taiga had gotten their silver play button for...
Is Taiga like a kid? Is Taiga actually a child? The cruelty of dangling this in front of them.
...for getting 100,000 subscribers during all of this mess. And on top of that, it just shows the inconsistency of YouTube and its policies, where 1 minute your content is totally fine for the platform and even monetizable, and then 6 hours later that same content is so dangerous it has to be removed entirely.
It's almost as if they're not functioning as a moral authority, but rather they are concerned with perception, perhaps business impact. And who knows the impact of the structure and who's in charge of making these decisions, how high up does it go? You know, not crazy.
And to make the situation even worse,
hey, maybe sometimes it sucks, but I feel like this is an angle of criticism that is something that will never really be fixed or worked on. This angle of the issue. Not really gonna.
Worse, shortly after that, Taiga's official Twitter account would be suspended. Now, looking at everything going on, clearly there's some false reports, and over the years, Taiga...
Not to me. That's your judgment. I have no idea what this Taiga person has done or what they do. Are you going to show me?
...has amassed a lot of harassers, including some stalkers. Now, why does this all happen? Well, those are intertwined with a series of false allegations that Taiga was facing. False allegations that accused him of grooming someone. Now, those have been since debunked and also Taiga exonerated. However, during the time...
May I see it?
...of that exoneration, and also after he was exonerated, a lot of people in the VTubing scene continued to spread these false allegations and to slander Taiga. Now, there's been...
A false grooming accusation and exoneration? Entirely contained in your skull? May I see it?
multiple people in the VTubing scene who are responsible for a lot of the damage.
It seems like a dumb choice. Seems like you're implicitly on the side of Taiga. Taiga is the wronged individual. You're describing things that have been done that suck for them as being cruel, empathy-inducing language, cruelty inflicted upon this individual. It would help me feel for this person if I knew what the actually happened rather than a general description.
Damage done.
We got 16 minutes though. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
To Taiga's reputation, we're first going to look at Marina VT. We have talked about Marina before. She is constantly in controversy. She's stirring up drama and also is a supporter of the Hogwarts Legacy Harassment campaign. She was also the VTuber who falsely believed a few months ago that she could stream a nude VTuber model on Twitch where she would eventually...
Yeah, okay, sounds like a loser, but the way it's listed out, have we hit the side of YouTube where there are all these orthodoxies where it's like, she was involved in the Hogwarts harassment campaign? Is that like, she involved herself in the pogroms? But would it
be temporarily suspended? But on top of that, she has had it out for Taiga for years. She has been harassing and slandering Taiga for...
Harassing. Because every time you or your followers post about me, accuse me of things that are false or just keep bringing up the situation. It forces me to have to keep bringing up the facts and the very screenshots you keep trying to... public people being talked about. Harassment? I don't think I'm going to be convinced of harassment. Slander? Maybe, if you show me it's false. Although I guess here it would be libel. To be hyper-autistic. But still, yeah, libel, slander, bad. When we're talking about a public figure with a media presence being talked about, that's not the same as pestering someone who's a private individual with an expectation of privacy, right?
For years. And you can see posts, even ones that have recent...
Particularly if the channel by which you are communicating with them or communicating about them is a public platform that they also exist on, right? If this person was like calling them on their phone or something and like bypassing blocks and blah, 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 maybe. This, don't care. The substance of what they say, if it's lies, sure. But harassment, stop it.
Applies as recent as 2023, where she has used what is now debunked evidence to claim that Taiga is this dangerous person, needs to be blacklisted from the VTubing scene, and also that he is some kind of a predator. And you can see other members of the VTubing scene jumping on this, Friends of Marina, supporting this false narrative about Taiga, and that checks out because as a former...
May I see it? Hey, it could be true. I'll find it a lot easier to believe it if you like show me, just quickly, just be like, they said this, but the evidence was this, like just quickly, or even just describe how it was debunked. Maybe we will look at the accusation doc. Maybe what I'll do is like, I'll have the accusation doc up. If it's a safe page, I show it, then I hide it from the stream, scroll down, show it, hide it from the stream, scroll down, show it. You know what I mean?
supporting this false narrative about Taiga, and that checks out because
Unban the R slur? No, Omegon is not coming back.
Because as a former friend here has commented, apparently at the time Marina, for a good period of time, was encouraging her friends to support these slanderous posts about Taiga. And the reason she was doing all this was not for justice, it wasn't for bringing awareness, it was simply made because she had it out for Taiga. And even after learning that he had been exonerated, she kept making posts claiming that he is some predator. And when finally confronted with all this stuff, we would see a response from Marina, her attempt at an apology.
All right.
You know, and I will even, if Taiga watches this, like, I am sorry.
And of course, if we're talking about...
Is that all they said? That feels clip-chimped, like they put... I smell an if coming after.
Reputational damage.
What the f*** is this?
In the VTubing scene involving Taiga, we have to talk about Nux Taku, who about 2 years ago made this collab video with who else but Moist Critical,
Charlie,
where you can see it has 350,000 views. It was a VTuber drama tier list type video,
right.
And of course, Charlie is not super aware of a lot of the
True, Zara BP. I mean, I could also be working on my Buddy Holly cover, but...
VTuber controversy, so Nux would have to explain them to him, and when Taiga came up, Taiga was described by Nux as a predator.
Is this HoloLive?
No, Taiga is an indie streamer who, I don't know the whole story, but Taiga was outed to be a
Oh, I don't know the...
Couched in I don't know the whole story, but then that is a hard, they were outed as a pedophile. That's a rock hard claim. Let's see. Hey, look! Just because I think Nux Taku is a weird little fucking freak, spineless, swept for, worm, doesn't mean he couldn't be right. Okay? But that is definitely he's definitely said this person has been outed as a pedophile. Despite my ignorance of the full situation, I am sure they have been outed as a pedophile.
I don't know the whole story, but we want to talk about out of context, bro.
So yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. First of all, him saying that he was not aware of the full situation, but then felt comfortable enough to slander Taiga is ridiculous. But eventually...
Not necessarily. Stop. I can immediately... Okay. Stop! It's fucking not ridiculous. It might be in this scenario, presenting that as a ridiculous thing to say. I'm not aware of the full situation, but they've been outed to be a pedophile. What if they were outed because there's like a fucking video of them fucking a kid? And you're just saying, hey, I don't know everything, but they definitely are a pedophile. Might be the... Like, what if there's a rock-solid piece of evidence and you're just saying, I don't know the whole thing, but they're definitely a pedo? There are scenarios where that could be the case.
A lot of people would
presumably not this one, but he said it as if that statement alone is absurd. It's not.
Start harassing Taiga as a result of this clip, and eventually Taiga would challenge Nux Taku and...
Hey all, I edit out the Bungo Taiga segment of this video. Although I state in the video it's Globo is coming to World of Warcraft. Anyway, these fucking names, dude. I picked my name to be ridiculous on purpose, and I'm being blown out of the water here. Bungo Taiga. I do not know the full bunghole tiger. China is just a bunghole tiger. They're not a real threat. Anyway, still, hang on. Although I say in the video itself a disclaimer that I do not know the full story. That's not a disclaimer. That's merely a description of of you not having the full picture. You can say I don't have the full picture, and then if you say but one thing, that suggests you are clear on that one point. I hate all these people. Holy fuck! Not to take what I say too seriously, I still would rather not be a cause for misinformation floating around now that new information was revealed. I'm still in the dark on a lot of details as I heard both sides of this event, and I don't something I want to think. I'm sorry if I caused any undue harm in this. I'm sorry if I caused any undue harm. That's kinda good though. I kinda like. Sorry if I caused any undue harm. The harm you fucking deserve. Like, if you are a pedophile, then I'm not sorry. That's good. Hey, I like that. Funny. I also personally apologized and reached out to Taiga for his side and discussed my plan going forward with him? Fucking why? That's weird. That's really weird. Why would you discuss your plan going forward with the subject of your commentary? That's weird as fuck. I hope the truth comes out. Blah, 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 innocent, and I intend to set the record straight in the future when I understand better. Taiga informed me that there's a private Hey, I'm still not sure if they're a pedophile or not, but I'm gonna discuss the public image strategy with them going forward. Okay. What?
Basically say these are false.
Charlie has nothing to do with this. This was privately recorded and only on my platform. You were talking to him, and he's in the video that's broadcast. He doesn't have nothing to do with it because it wasn't on his channel. He's still a real human being. You still recorded him. It's still a real recording. You could say, Charlie has nothing to do with this. He didn't know anything about it. I brought it up. He didn't know enough to challenge it. He's not endorsing it. You could say something like that, not... Unless by privately recorded, you mean I was fucking creep-shotting him? What the...
Allegations, and eventually Nux would leave a pinned comment where he addresses several things. First of all, trying to apologize, but also saying that he's aware that Taiga is being investigated by a private investigator who's looking into these claims made against them. This was made about 2 years ago, this pinned comment, and also he said if these allegations were proven to be untrue, he would likely make a follow-up video either with Charlie or somewhere separate, right?
My brain is absolutely fucked into the ground by this. You've gone soft on Nux. Why? He said, quote, I intend to set the record straight in the future when I understand the situation better. Right? You can go hard. You can say he intends to set the record straight. Not, he'll likely do it if it comes out. No, if it comes out, he will.
And you can see the impact of this pinned comment. It only has 169 likes all these years later, but the video itself has 350,000. Too little, too late in many people's eyes, but we also have a public accusation being followed up.
Just a fucking shotgun blast. Comment has 169 likes, but the video has 349,000. Video has 24,000. You can... I'm nitpicking, but I feel like there's such a fucking clusterfuck of weird things to say. Bizarre presentation. 169 likes, but the video has 349,000 views. I suspect that clearly that comment has been seen far fewer times, you know? A lie's traveled around the world by the time the truth gets its shoes on to chase. Blah, 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 blah. If you're not going to specify views, you want to do apples to apples. 196 likes to 24k likes.
Up with a private apology. He privately apologized to Taiga about this situation. But let's fast forward. So there was an investigation going on.
I'm doing a UN expose. I wish. A strange twist.
And there was a private investigator who is specialized.
Okay. Originally planned to be anonymous, but that decision was changed. And I won't edit the document as it is finalized as of the exoneration of Bungo Taiga.
There was
Bungo Taiga sounds like a character name made up to be in a South Park episode making fun of VTubers.
Investigation going on, and there was a private investigator who is specialized in these sorts of accusations who went in independently and looked at everything going on in the situation. This
What's their name?
Document is still available. You can find it on Twitter if you want to.
At it.
But to sum it up, the private investigator...
Oh, so wait, the independent investigator is the... Sorry, independent investigator Burn 8. Fuck me! Who is this person? Burn 8 on Twitter. Their bio is, I pray for a future where people like me aren't needed anymore. Hey, I investigate things with no support from anyone else or qualifications. Hence, I'm an independent investigator. Is that what we're looking at here? I am extremely underwhelmed by this individual so far. But presumably they will share their credentials in their document when we get around to it. For now, in this Rev video, that individual we were just looking at the Twitter feed of is ostensibly being cited as an authority and expert.
Investigation going on, and there was a private investigator who is specialized in these sorts of accusations who went...
As far as I can tell, it is referring to Burn 8.
Went in independently and looked at everything going on in the situation. This document is still available. You can find it on Twitter if you want to. But to sum it up, the private investigator found that this whole situation...
The private investigator, independent... That's code for some fucking guy on Twitter! What they said can be correct. They're looking into it can be well done. You're trying to beef him up. Private, independent investigator.
Situation was based on unfounded claims. Essentially what happened was there was 3 individuals who were ex-members of...
I will be keeping my identity anonymous, as many of the actual pedophiles I investigate will stalk and harass anyone I associate with. You cannot lean on this person's credentials and identity when they're anonymous and there's some fucking guy on Twitter. You can say the info's good, you can say what he's written's good, you can say it's accurate and you've checked it. You can't fucking lean on him in terms of his authority as, oh, he's this great fucking independent PI. Stop.
Taiga's community.
I would agree as well, Nicandros. The fucking title is The Exoneration of Bungo Taiga. Even if that would be an accurate characterization of this. Can we talk about this? Because these fucking retards, who post stuff on the internet, don't understand the concept of the appearance of impropriety. It is not enough to merely act properly if you want people to listen to you, and you want to serve the public, and you want to share information that is important, and that people should know, with high stakes. You must also avoid the appearance of impropriety. You must behave in such a way that people will not doubt you, even when you have no reason to be doubted. If you behave sketchily, you undermine the ability of your work to do good, to serve the public interest. Even if you are behaving properly, even if everything you're saying is true, if you look like a fucking freak and you present yourself in a fucked up way that makes you look insanely biased, you are undermining the work itself by increasing the likelihood that people will doubt it. Right? Appearance of impropriety is as important as actual impropriety, and is sometimes worse. If you are suspected of actual impropriety, there is a chance you can prove that that is false. If you have merely generated the appearance of impropriety, the odds that you'll have something solid to point to say any claims are false is much lower because you just look sus. Versus someone saying, for instance, hey, you worked with so-and-so, you might be able to prove that you didn't. Right? If they're just like, you look biased because you've called this the fucking exoneration of Bungo Taiga, what do you counter that with?
Became disgruntled, and also some of them went on to stalk Taiga and came up with this scheme to slander them through all of these false...
Did I hit my head? Or cut myself shaving or something? I just slapped my head in rage. That might be why it's a bit red.
accusations, including... And came up with this scheme to slander them through all of these false accusations, including allegations of grooming. Now, as it turns out, a lot of the evidence was either...
Genius scheme. Genius scheme.
Either completely faked or cropped out of context, or in many cases there was comments being made about fictional characters and they were being framed as comments about real people, and all of this was done to slander Taiga. And as the evidence turns out, he was not guilty of any of these things, and the investigator exonerated Taiga.
The investigator exonerated him. Holy fuck.
It's been a long time. That exoneration came out in 2022. We are now more...
They're referring to it as if it's a fucking court judgment. The exoneration was released on Twitter by BurnBurn8 years ago. He's been exonerated.
More than halfway through 2024, and we haven't heard any...
And you know it's an exoneration, and it carries that weight because the Google Doc is called the exoneration of...
official response from Nux. In fact, the only mention I can find of Nux Taku regarding Taiga came about 6 months ago on the Some Ordinary podcast, where he mentions it about 20 minutes into the podcast, by the way, which was not about Taiga. It was just an offhand remark about false allegations.
Do things, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a past thing. Like, there was the VTuber that was canceled for allegedly doing weird grooming type shit. And
to be fair, alleged, for instance, by you.
And, like, I was in a video.
Okay.
And I was talking about it, and I also alleged that he did that.
Okay.
Close friends of
not full worm mode today. Not full worm mode today.
Mine told me, and I saw, you know, creepy conversations of him talking to kids and or talking about kids and, you know, liking little boys and stuff like that. Who knows if it's a joke, you know? And like I alleged it also because a friend told me.
I alleged it also cause a friend told me. Worm mode activated! Spine removed! I looked. based on my judgment, I thought it was appropriate to say that apparently he's a pedophile. My judgment. I said it because a friend told me. Not my fault. Not my fault. Jesus Christ.
And I regret it because he you know, I don't know if it's true. He ended up coming back with some sort of response. I don't know, this guy Bungo Taiga, and I apologized to him privately that I even alleged something like that. And like
I privately apologized that I alleged this person is a fucking diddleroid in front of thousands of people.
Because a friend told me, and I believed him.
Muda put out a
And
good
for me,
tweet
that's
last night.
That's the hardest part of this whole thing.
The thing that has bothered a lot of people, including Taiga, is that even all this time later, way after the exoneration has been very well known publicly...
After the exoneration has been very well known publicly, these people just say these fucking sentences and don't immediately kill themselves after. How do they do it?
He still uses terms like allegedly to describe what's going on with Taiga, and also he relies very much on the fact that he privately apologized.
Despite this Twitter user posting a Google Doc in which they refuse to identify themselves, but are leaning on their supposed expertise as an investigator, anonymously, Nux Taku hasn't accepted it as fact. That's correct on his part!
Apologize to Taiga. It's like the get out of jail free card in this situation. However, hearing Taiga's reaction to this clip, it sounds like it's not enough for them. I don't think they're satisfied with a private apology, and one that doesn't even really sound that good to begin with.
This guy Bungo Taiga, and I apologized to him privately that...
Let me be clear. Let me check
Bunghole tickler.
exactly what he said. If I do a sequel with Charlie, I was planning on it. I'll try to clear the record more publicly. I'll also do more research. Again, I don't know right now, however, I'll try to rectify any extra damage I caused and hope you can accept my apology. This was in December 22nd, 2022. 2022.
2022.
He said he was going to make a sequel video with Moist Critical. Video never came.
That one wasn't guaranteed. In the other comment that Rev was showing on screen, in the other post that he pinned, he said he intends to clear it up, and there was no mention of that being hinged on, or rather that hinging on a collab with Charlie. But it now appears that Rev was referring to whatever this person is talking about while displaying a different comment. The better one to use is the one where he says he intends to clear things up if information comes out. You have him on that one. You have him on that one. There's information out. Forget the appeal to this Twitter fellow's authority. You can say the information in the document is good if you've found it to be as such. The information's out. Nux can see it. He said, should more information come out, he intends to clear things up. You've got him on that. But they can't even fucking do that! Zero competence. Fuck me. This is why you don't help people. Don't fucking do it. Not even fucking once. They don't deserve it. They're too stupid to be helped.
I want to speak briefly about my own experience dealing with Nux Taku. So about 2 years ago, I made a video covering some very hypocritical statements made by him, where he made this response video shortly after, and you can see the thumbnail. I mean, he's just throwing around these slanderous things left and right, and when, confronted on this whole thing, he basically said because I paraphrased some of the things he was saying in my thumbnail, he had full range to do whatever he wanted in his thumbnail, including saying slanderous things like this that have been used to harass me. But on
this fucking Nux guy went in on this guy with fuck
now, including saying
okay, this is pretty good. I like this. I like this a lot.
Slanderous things like this that have been used to harass me. But on top of that, this video was about his hypocrisy. So
can I have a second? These are some relatively mild he's got the weird Goro one in the middle. Extra weird one, and some, weird on the bottom left. I think the imminent rape thumb is the most like, bro. No one's viewing that as anything but freak shit. But the middle one is pretty freak shit one as well. Right. Let me check something. Okay, so this Rev person, they're clearly like a lolly supporter. I understand why they have a problem with Nux. They apparently like to a lot go, hey, you say you hate lolly, you have a lolly, icon. You say you hate lolly, you've liked this. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking through a ton of this guy's video transcripts. Seems like a regular part of his shtick is, you say you hate lollies, but look, you like this. You use this image, blah, 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 blah. No wonder he has a problem with Nux Taku. Can I play this for a while on stream? It's Chud. I haven't looked at any of this, like, reaction. I haven't looked at Chud talking to stuff. Link is Chud releasing his rage at low punny cake? Oh! Let me tell you the lore on this as well. Interesting. Not suggesting this was Nux Taku's intent with these. Perhaps. There's the quote as well. People, you get the fucking lowly defense force saying, "Damn, it's crazy to say he was trying to, like, EPI kids to put them in down the fucking pedo pipeline instead of just saying he was baiting people." Yeah, I don't think that was his intent. But I think he was insanely fucking reckless and has horrible judgment. Right? To not realize, fuck, I'm part of this. Perhaps so many are removed because he realized how bad a look it is, or maybe it just became a YouTube problem.
This fucking freak got swept for, and it made me look like I was being a fucking retard. It's completely obscene. It is totally fucking obscene, bro. What the fuck was Mutahar thinking? This is fucking obscenity. This is totally obscene, okay? Moves were made that...
There's increased lore for this. If Queeman thought I was saying that, then Queeman is retarded, because I explicitly say I don't think that was his intent. I'm outlining why this sort of shit is fucked, to emphasize his obliviousness, to back up why it's so fucking weird that he doesn't react. He says, "Oh, hey, kids are copying this porno and doing, like, TikTok videos, copying the moves in this porno. Haha." What? No register from him that's fucked. And so I show, hey, there's this sort of, conveyor belt effect that he can be seen as an element of. I don't think he intends to be, but he's at the very least reckless, has extremely poor judgment. 2, then in turn, back up the suggestion that he fucking would have had Shadman on and sucked his cock. Even if just because he thought it would be good bait. But there is further lore. There is lore missing. The reason I have that big black box over this thumbnail is, someone posted this original version of the thumbnail, saying, "Hey, I think the editor forgot to censor it. There was a cock in this thumbnail, and I believe it was updated to not show the penis."
Called into question the quality of my fucking reporting, okay? When I did nothing wrong, and Nux Taku is a total fucking freak.
True. Forget quality of reporting, okay? Just, look. In my day, these people will be bully-sided, okay?
There was many different statements I collected of him saying disparaging things about people who enjoy lolly content, where I countered by saying, you have lolicon in your thumbnails and you've used it as a parts of your content. This makes you a hypocrite. In fact, he wouldn't really address this in his response video, but instead would secretly go...
Stop. Ever so slightly fumbled. Your view can change. He could have been pro-lolicon in the past and not now. He's not necessarily a hypocrite. I suspect his condemnation is a lie. You know? It's pure optics games and stuff. Just hypocrisy? Not necessarily.
Behind the scenes and start changing all of his old thumbnails. But that video itself was an absolute disaster. I mean, I never made an official response to it because I didn't really feel like I needed to, but...
Oh, do these guys just call each other hypocrites? Is that it?
I want to bring it up now because I think there's several quotes from Nux that really relates to the Taiga situation. You can see the video itself. It is probably his most disliked video on any of his channels, but...
Who gives a fuck?
It was off to a terrible start when he began...
Oh, these kids, man. Are these kids? Like, are they, like... I presume they're over 18, but are we talking like 19, 20?
By saying he uploaded this on his alt channel, not his main channel, because if he did on his main channel, I likely would have been deplatformed.
If I make a video roasting this dude on my main channel, YouTube will literally deplatform him. Like, YouTube actually watches my stuff, especially ever since I've been on the Some Ordinary podcast. YouTube has really been paying attention to, like, what we've been saying. And, I'll be honest, if I would make a video on him on the main channel, I do think he'd get taken down for either bullying or the whole, weird.
How do people What has fucking happened to the internet? In my day, this guy would have been fucking cyber-lynched. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Pussification gone too far.
Pedo stuff. Like one or the other. I do think so.
I stop looking at shit on the internet. I play games. I play games on the internet for like 6 years? 7 years? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
Which is, and I don't want to be that guy.
How did this happen? How did we get here?
Gets made on me, I make a video on him back, and then YouTube takes him doon. So I didn't want to even touch that.
Yeah, obviously that wasn't a very good start and a very egotistical statement to say the least. But
Welcome to modern internet.
Going on from there, he would not really address any of the points in my video. He largely focused on insulting me.
But I think I'm inclined to believe that there's at least a grain of truth to what this guy is saying. That there is influence there. Perhaps he has it, perhaps other people have it. And the reason you don't get too many people being too harsh is they'll get slapped for it, right? Surely, maybe that's what's happened.
And also
infiltration, infestation.
So shadowboxing points that I never raised, and also bringing in random third-party VTubers who had nothing to do with my video. He also went out of his way to drag my wife into the situation, who had literally nothing to do with this situation, but he made a completely...
Thank you.
Why does the loli have fangs?
I'm orange. I presume it's a reference to the joke that lolis are, you have the little kid looking thing, and they're like, actually, she's a 6,000-year-old vampire.
Baseless accusation that she was going around asking various VTubers for dirt on Nux that I could use in my video.
And then also, talking about bad faith, this dude went around, and his wife, they were asking VTubers that are friends of mine for dirt on me. They were literally asking VTubers for dirt on me privately, which is like, wow, this dude literally just wanted to make a video to try and take me down, which is...
Yeah? What if he did? So?
Hilarious, because he should have known from past exploits that I'm not going to get canceled, let alone...
Is being mean not allowed now?
By the lolly community. So, it's pretty scum. It's pretty scum.
Now, ironically, Nux is currently dealing with his own set of allegations being made against him. So in the wake of the Chris Tyson situation, a lot of people are going on a...
Wow, they were just trying to take me down, a person they hate and think is wrong and bad. Okay?
Witch hunt involving Shadman, where they're looking for anyone who's ever had interactions with Shadman, and they're now accusing them of all kinds of things, including being a predator and also being friends with a predator at the very least. And Nux is one of those people who has had some private and public interactions with Shadman, including interactions like this where he asked Shadman to collab, where people are trying to accuse him of things based on that. And I think a lot of these accusations coming out of the Shadman situation involving people he had brief interactions with are over the top. But Nux claims this collab he was asking for was actually to...
Wait, why does this guy think they're even bad at all? Why would this guy think it's bad at all?
Confront him on his various illegal activity, among other things. And I don't know if we're going to get more information about this because...
Forget over the top.
Nux is going to stream. He's currently on vacation. And when he comes back, he sounds like he's going to address what's going on here, which seems a very fitting time to address what's going on with Taiga, because he is facing false allegations. And why not address those while also addressing the false allegations against Taiga and also try to help signal boost the situation involving the various platforms?
Everyone else, why are grown men cosplaying as children in a slap fight on the internet? I've said this before, but when I was first sent by Nick Andros, the summary of what he thought was wrong with Nux, because I had no idea who the fuck he was. I had no idea what the fuck had gone on with Chud and Mutar. I hadn't looked at that until Nick Andros sent it to me. But my immediate thought was just, if you had any of this shit open in the pub and someone saw it was on your phone, they would cave your skull in with a brick. I think these people see this shit being tolerated in videos and stuff with millions of views, and I think, millions of views, the whole world sides with me! No, that's nothing. Like, I feel like... I feel like there's a lot of people online who've been warped into a false sense of what's normal and what people are okay with and think is fine.
He has been banned on. But let's not get too lost in the sauce here. Let's go back to Taiga, who has been removed from multiple platforms at this point, 2 out of their 3 biggest platforms. And people are looking around and trying to figure out who did this. And of course, we had this mentioned earlier.
I think you're correct, Fabio. It will probably forever remain this, like, festering carbuncle on the internet.
Of various stalkers, and some of
Who's this Greg we keep mentioning? Greg is the platonic form of the football fan who is always at the pub.
them have claimed
He's not a real person, but there are many real people who embody his spirit.
Responsibility for this, but based on the number of people who have harassed Taiga over the years, it could be the responsibility of the stalkers, it could be the responsibility of the harassers, it could be a mix of those things, but at the end of the day,
At the end of the day, stop. Everything I hate has popped up in this interminably long-seeming 14 and a half minutes.
Conclusion is still the same. Taiga has been removed from these platforms and it needs to be fixed. In fact, the only remaining large platform Taiga has left is their Twitch channel, which is also being threatened by these stalkers who are basically...
I just want to be left alone. You have 13 hours, 55 minutes left to respond. Taiga must react to a Jacko YouTube vid. For example, the first minutes of my video, Evolution of Jacko's Legendary Groove. I am a jazz expert, and that's why I am here. My favorite hobby is seeing people have fun being shocked by the bass of doom. I know Taiga is at a music festival, but you must give me your word in the meantime. If you don't respond tonight, I will begin reporting the Twitch channel. Do you have fucking Down syndrome? Are you retarded? You take this seriously? Literally anyone can report your Twitch channel for any reason. They could be doing it right now. My video is crafted to be extremely groovy. And I don't think Taiga looked at Jacko yet. But nothing... It's also, yes, not serious. I believe this person is fucking joking. I don't think this isn't even a true threat. I don't think the person intended for it to be received as a threat. Or I don't think a reasonable person would receive this as a threat. Twitch doesn't look at but nothing matters. Twitch doesn't look at reports anyway! They even outlined that it's a joke in the message. Okay, fine. Taiga can just play Israel 1995 Gary Willis bass solo. Promise you will ask. Otherwise, I will finally start on reporting the Twitch channel.
Asking for Taiga to pay attention to certain things or pay attention to them, or they were going to mass flag the Twitch account, which is still up as we're talking. But
they're joking. They're joking, and they give away blatantly that they practically did the /S sarcasm marker. But nothing matters. Twitch doesn't look at reports anyway. Retard zone.
I think a lot of this has to do with these stalkers wanting attention. And again, I raise all these things to get YouTube and also Twitter involved, hopefully, to reset the false reports here. And on top of that, I want to give some hope. As hopeless as it might seem, there's other situations going on with false reporting that have been resolved. So I talked about this on a different video recently where a Shy Lily clip channel...
Do these people still try to delude people into believing that there's power in the report itself and that you should be policing the reports itself? People can report you without telling you they're going to report you, dog. I'm sure you get reported by people who just fucking hate your guts every single day. The problem is how the report's dealt with.
Channel named Pierre was banned for impersonation. And of course, Shy Lily came forward to say they had full permission to use her clips for their content, and they would have to come back multiple...
This is... I can't believe that this is anything other than a, psyop being played on your audience. Because it's powerful to be able to say, someone reported you, this person was going to report you, blah, 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 to condemn them with and, attack them, blah, 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 blah.
Times. This happened.
Make people take it more seriously than they should.
Over the course of 3 weeks before there was a resolution where Shy Lily was persistently asking YouTube to fix the situation, where finally, only a couple days ago, the channel was reinstated and that was solved. Now, I know Taiga's situation is very upsetting.
I wouldn't describe myself as upset. Hey, I'm back home now. I still feel completely awful just trying to stay afloat. I need a bit more time before I can talk properly with you guys. I just feel so completely worthless and isolated. I don't know what to do. I don't want to wait. How old is this person? I don't know what to do. I don't want to wake up. I wish I could just stop existing. Every time I see the people who did this to me living their lives as if nothing happened, I get sick to my stomach. Did they, like, kill your kid? Like, what is this? What are you talking about like this? I'm tired of being angry, but whenever I repress that, I become insanely depressed and my anxiety spikes. Teal dear, I don't know how to cope with being deplatformed like this. Please don't forget about me. Thank you for... It's probably good for this person if they do not go on the internet anymore. They're writing like this. Hey, I don't know yet. May or may not have been wrong for them to be, have their account deleted or something. The impact of that happening being this... probably really unhealthy for you to be on there. Might be a blessing in disguise. Don't want to let you down, but I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do next anymore.
Messages, people have screenshotted their Discord, among other things, and obviously Taiga's not in a good place. And that's one of the reasons why I want...
I don't know how to deal with being deplatformed. Called, it rhymes with can inflation. It rhymes with can inflation, and I would never advocate that you do it. Alright?
To make this video to give some moral support if I can't fix anything else. I mean, at the end of the day, it is hard to get responses out of YouTube and Twitter, and if anyone in the audience has some sort of a connection, I would definitely encourage...
Is his primary income being a VTuber? If he primarily streamed on YouTube, then that would mean they took away his main source of income. It would also mean he's a fucking idiot.
...you to help out Taiga in the situation and bring awareness, but right now, that's really the best we can do.
It also means YouTube denied it to him.
Is not only establish what's going on with Taiga, but also address some of the
Welcome to self-employment. Welcome to self-employment.
Continued misinformation surrounding Taiga and the false allegations that people are still sharing and relying on. And people in this situation too, a lot of the harassers, they're celebrating these platforms being
self-immolation is not the can inflation one.
Taken away, and they're continuing to share the false allegations against Taiga, and it's unfortunate. So I would like to set the record straight on everything and let you guys know what's going on with the situation and the kind of misinformation that has surrounded it. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always,
I didn't, but thank you for summarizing. Somehow I watched a 17-minute video about what happened, and I don't know what happened. I have zero detail on it. You can just make videos like this? Alright, burn. Okay, we have the thread and then we have the document. I'll be very careful with the document. Burn8 on Twitter says, in a strange twist, I'm today doing an unexpose. It's called a cover-up. Don't say I'm doing an unexpose. What, you mean a cover-up? Originally planned to be anonymous? Why would you phrase it like that? But that decision was changed, and I won't edit the document as it is finalized as of the exoneration of Bungo Taiga. I dug into a femboy VTuber who was accused of being a pedophile. So did I, but they were accused by themselves. And that was someone else. In a surprising twist, what I found was a victim of stalking, harassment, and pedo-jacketing. I'm in communication with Taiga, but I was first silently lurking his Discord and watching before reaching out. Dog. Oh, man. Based on lurking the Discord, I saw no indications of... grooming, minor endangerment, racism, or transphobia. After a while, I made contact with Taiga and asked a lot of questions while also digging for receipts elsewhere. What we discussed... If I'm ever accused of something, for the love of God, do not defend me like this. What we discussed is in the doc above. Please read it first. So the doc contains... The basis of this is... You hung out in the Discord for a while and didn't say anything bad, and then you had a discussion with Taiga. What we discussed is in the doc above. Please read it first. Before what? Before reading this? I dated the doc to account for any bias that could arise in the future. Dog, what? We have continued talking, and the story actually gets more tragic. The story gets more tragic! A while after the doc was finalized, Taiga opened up about some of his past. He opened up about the fact that at around 13 he was convinced by an adult to e-date him. He actually asked the question, was I groomed? What the fuck is this? And seems to just be coming to terms with this. I am also a psychologist and therapist. No, Whether he will talk about this work, or work on unpacking that privately, is up to him. I suspect many of his odder behaviors may be coping mechanisms, but I am not a therapist. I am sending him some resources that may help him get in contact with one, though, if he so chooses. I'm stun-locked. He also told me more about Ozzy. He provided logs of whispers on Twitch of Ozzy admitting to and defending having sex with a drunken high 18-year-old on the day they turned 18. I need to verify sharing receipts won't affect any legal investigation and censor victim's name. Nothing Taiga said was brought up by Ozzy for 2 years until after Ozzy was banned from... Hey, this sounds a lot more like a deflection than an exoneration. Ozzy was banned from Taiga's community, which was a month into Taiga's VTubing career, as soon as Ozzy was discovered to be having lewd interactions with community members in what at the time was a safe-for-work all-ages server. It amazes me, as Shotakon, a rapist and IRL stalker, put out a document that nobody seriously fact-checked, and has given rise to daily harassment from aunties. From aunties! Who groom minors to attack someone they allege incorrectly is a pedophile, putting said minors in danger too. This being written as Porcelain Maid was just accused of and confirmed of worse. Who cares? Oh, hey, sorry, your toilet's leaking water, but children being raped is worse, so I can't work on your plumbing. Who cares if something is, worse, if you're meant to be addressing that situation? Whether he is a danger to children is still being looked into, but he contacted a minor, unlike Taiga. Very professional, unbiased, clean-cut, private investigation here. And both exposes were for comments made by people during high school ages. Taiga has been upfront and honest. How do you know? Taiga has been upfront and honest, even about the more uncomfortable things and mistakes he has made and grown from. This isn't the talking of a fucking PI. This is something I have never witnessed a pedophile do! What is this? And do not believe he is one or any threat to minors or anyone else. If you read to the end, thank you. I did. Fuck you. Taiga has now opened up about the trauma of these events and his earlier childhood grooming I mentioned as well. Honestly, it's just heartbreaking to listen to. Taiga is not a pedophile. Exhibit A, they broke my heart with how much of a victim they are. Fuck you! Shame on everyone who's not speaking up to correct the record they set. Doesn't mean they are a pedophile or anything. However, it does mean this should be taken with a giant boulder of salt. Right. Document time. Let me do a quick scroll of the whole thing. Oh, it's really small. It's really, really short. And there are no images directly embedded. Alright. The exoneration of Bungo Taiga and the stalker and ex-mods who harassed him. Some links in this document lead to not safe for work content or profiles. They have been highlighted in red. Very well. I am writing this to correct the record. You're not writing it to provide your account. You're not writing it to share your findings. You're writing it with the intent of correcting the record. With relation to lies. This dog, you're not even... Come on. On a VTuber known as Bungo Taiga. I am not a long-time fan, nor was I connected to Taiga. I am an independent investigator who happened across Taiga and enjoyed hearing his impressive voice work. Holy fuck! But happened across some of the rumors regarding him as I dug a little into his background. I will be keeping my identity anonymous, as many of the actual pedophiles I investigate will stalk and harass anyone I associate with. I know that will make it harder to trust this document and confirm it isn't just one of Taiga's friends, but I would rather that doubt than draw additional harassers to him. Not to your associates. You'd rather that doubt than draw additional harassers to him. What do you mean? I have directly talked to Taiga to discuss these issues after my initial investigations and ask questions. He is being cooperative. Hey, this guy whose dick I clearly hunger to have inside of me and want to prove is a good dude, was happy to talk to me. Crazy. Ask questions. He has been cooperative and honest. You better show us that. Through my investigation, upon deeper inspection, this is a case of harassment and IRL stalking performed against Taiga. As a former victim of stalking harassment, I can empathize greatly with this situation. Your opening paragraph in what is meant to be your unbiased investigation includes an exclamation of your extreme empathy towards this individual. What are you fucking doing? This isn't even good as propaganda. And want to correct the record with my findings. Bungo Taiga has been accused of being a pedophile and possible child abuser. However, something glanced over by the public, that means they looked at it. I want to put my nails together, my ukulele long nails together into a point and just blast it through my skull and destroy my brain. However, something glanced over by the public are the two sources and the distributor of these accusations. Discussing these three brings a lot of... You're meant to be directly investigating. You're an investigator. If all you're going to do is cast doubt based on who the sources are, what's the point of being an investigator? I can do that at a glance. Discussing these three brings a lot of context to the original doc and brings its validity and purpose into question. I care more about the truth of the matter, but okay. Accuracy, for instance. The doc written on Taiga that alleges he is a shotacon, pedophile, racist, transphobe, and that he is toxic. Oh, you're going to investigate whether this individual is toxic. Was pushed by his stalker, using an old doc made half a year prior by two of Taiga's former mods. Sounds like people who may be familiar with him. Gilk and Ozzy both banned a few months apart, and then the doc against Taiga appearing 3 weeks after Gilk was banned from Taiga's Discord for calling Taiga a money whore. This was written by a 12-year-old, I suspect. According to Taiga... Hello, I have done an investigation. I asked Taiga what was true, and here is what Taiga said. Actually, everyone else is a pedophile. According to Taiga, Ozzy was banned for constant inappropriate flirting with other server members. Presumably, Taiga shared the logs with you, or did you not even ask? Including minors and not performing mod duties after constant... Hey! If they'd perform their mod duties, any amount of weird behavior with the children is fine, alright? And not performing mod duties after constant complaints from Taiga's community. His stalker was a known superfan of Taiga. And when I say super, I mean it. I'm gonna throw up. He has donated a total of at least $500,000 to Taiga. Your life's over because you lost your YouTube channel following having $500,000 dropped on you. I feel like I don't believe anything that's been said at all by anyone today. I don't believe anything at all. He was an active member in Taiga's community. Here is a video of these super chats. Let's go. 2 years ago...
Let haters hate and shrug your shoulders.
What the fuck is top right, dog?
Donation.
Hey, hey!
I'm just helicoptering money at this
$2
point.
grand.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Adrian. I really
A
appreciate it.
$2 grand drop.
Thank you. Mwah. And finally, watching Wizard.
A $2 grand drop.
You're looking...
I'm gonna suggest that their life is not destroyed by the deplatforming. Hang on, if they want to appeal to whales as well... Yo, you have these weird fucking whales. Just go to an alt platform. You have these weird sex whales. Go on an alt platform, continue to get big dollars. He was an active member in Taiga's community. Here's a video. He would push Ozzy and Gilk's doc, as well as host an entire website dedicated to exposing Taiga. According to Taiga, all three of these people tried to get closer to Taiga in an intimate way and were rejected, leading to the creation of the doc and then the website. Adrian would buy and host this under multiple web addresses. The website was cleared and is now just a boilerplate statement indicating the stalker is supposedly done. In case this is something weird... It's gone at this point. Let me check for archives. Here's the statement. Looks like he's slandering me again. It's all false. Use your head. He's trying to sacrifice me in order to save his reputation and relationships with others. It won't work. If he's harming me, email me at newtips@adrianvanburen.com and I'll help you. Your identity will be protected and Taiga/Taiga/Bungo Taiga. If you're reading this, just be good, just tell the truth. Enough with the sneakiness and manipulating your fans. You are the one responsible for all your problems. Even if I and all your so-called enemies died tonight, you'd still have the exact same problems because it's due to your conduct. Look in the mirror to find the source of all your trouble. I wonder if this document will mention this fan and enemy my tell all. Let's see if this page is up. This content is password protected. His tell-all is password protected? What is this? No archive. Wayback Machine. This is weird as hell. The website was cleared and it's now just a boilerplate statement indicating the stalker is supposedly done. The website was not the end of this, though. The stalker, who is very rich, a self-described millionaire, seems likely... Hey guys, I'm a billionaire. Harmful opinions, who is very rich, would fly from France to Canada, driving to Taiga's town to stalk him IRL. In the video, you can see exit 153 Spadina Avenue, Lakeshore Boulevard, which is in Ottawa, Ontario. Okay, this was on December 23rd, 2021. He did other traveling around Canada and did not leave the country until January 18th, 2022. Is this confirmed Taiga's town? So this is the guy driving around here. Okay. I want more. You didn't want to dig more than that? Just a video of he was in Canada. You have things you're telling me and then you have a video of him in Canada. Okay. He also made threats of lawsuits against Taiga for simply discussing the stalking material. Not biased at all. Please, neutral description. Threats of lawsuit against Taiga. What did he claim? What did he tell me what he claimed, not your characterization of it. As he is extremely rich, he is able to bully, harass, stalk people and make them fear attempting to get legal recourse with his large fortune. His threat to Taiga alleged commenting about his stalking amounted to abuse, despite revealing Taiga's legal name all over his exposed website. That despite doesn't really make sense. Taiga fears trying to legally go after the stalker as he suspects the stalker's goal is to tie Taiga up in a costly legal battle he cannot afford. A very fair and valid fear. He also at times attempted to apologize to Taiga after having labeled him a pedophile. An odd move to be sure. Maybe go to this one? Did you mean this? Alright, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Odd move to be sure. If you confirm someone is a pedophile, I cannot imagine wanting to apologize or get back in their good graces. What if you think they're a pedophile and then change your mind? Think you're wrong. But anyway, we'll hear this guy's side as well. Because he does in fact post his side. However, despite claiming to be done months ago on his website, he is still harassing Taiga, going as far as threatening to sue Twitch for having Taiga on the platform. I don't know, this sounds like clowns all the way down. Okay, whatever. He is also a hypocrite! Bro, this is a bad YouTube video! Not the findings of a private investigator, this is a bad YouTube video script. The document, which will be covered, alleges Taiga's commissioned content is pedophilia. The content is pedophilia. Pedophilia is attraction to, specifically, I think, prepubescent children, people with that kind of morphology, figures with that kind of morphology. Probably called the content pedophilic, for instance. Or maybe it's a quote. Going as far as calling drawings child sexual exploitation material, a term that only applies to material tied to abuse of real children. This is pandering to the lolicons. This is not important for an investigation. However, the stalker continues to commission Shotacon and Lolicon to this day on his Skeb account. He has since found a new Taiga whose VTuber avatar is even more Shota-like, and commissioned art that pretty explicitly implied they were in a relationship despite previously claiming to be heterosexual in its— And he's gay! Despite previously claiming to be heterosexual in his legal document against Taiga. And he's fucking gay! What is this? Do you think the people who said, "He's been exonerated, look at this document," read this document? I was also able to track down Ozzy's Not Safe for Work Twitter, in which he is following the user Shota Cookie. Okay, they're all fucking weirdo, kitty-loving freaks. Fine. Alright. He is clearly still fine with such content and only used it as a tool to go after Taiga. Gilk is following multiple— That has no bearing on my opinion of Taiga being a freak or not. I don't care. I don't care. Hey, someone on Twitter is a hypocrite about this guy. I don't care. Well, not the major focus of any of these artists, they all have it in their portfolio. It is possible he is unaware, but I was able to easily dig into these artists' portfolios and find this with ease, likely indicating he's only upset about such content when it's useful. Allegedly, he also— It's bad faith! It's bad faith! Right. If someone exposes another person as being a child rapist, and they share concrete evidence, fucking photos of this person. Forget the problem with that being sharing child pornography, but let's say hypothetically, they post concrete evidence that person is a child rapist. But then it comes out that the person who exposed them doesn't care. The person who exposed them is also a child rapist and doesn't care. The only reason they did it is because they hate that person. Do I then not care about the information they shared? Doesn't matter. Irrelevant. Allegedly, he also often posted photos of Gon and Killua from Hunter x Hunter kissing, with the caption, "How me and the homies be" in Taiga's Discord, directed at Taiga, as shown in one of the follow-up docs defending Taiga. One of the following up docs to this defending Taiga. This being not much different than the content he later used to make allegations against Taiga. All three should have been aware he had such content and only seemed to be upset when they didn't get the relationship they wanted. Okay. With this, we can conclude the original doc on Taiga and its sharing is composed not with objective fact or safety of anyone in mind. I don't care what it has in mind. I care what it is. It only exists to harm Taiga and use any method possible to do so. However, this does not mean there cannot be truth in the doc. Yes, thank you. And it should be looked at nonetheless. So you start... The start of your... the fruit of your unbiased objective investigation is to say why these people aren't credible, rather than to address the factual nature of what they put out or not. What's the point of being an investigator? This is a persuasion piece. This is a piece of persuasive writing. Okay? The expose, or expose, as it's written here. Now, we should go over the document in question, which has now been deleted from Google. Its contents can be found here. I can't tell which links are red or not. I can't actually see. Where it's covered by a YouTuber, along with 2 response pieces, one by one of Taiga's mod and Taiga himself. Oh, hang on. What is this? Can be found here. Is it Rev Says This, perhaps? Right. The video that includes the content of the expose is gone. Let's see what this video is. If it's in an archive. You'd think you'd make your own archive of it as a PI, you know? Oh, archive.is is having problems. That's why I couldn't find the other ones. It wasn't a problem with that particular... Okay. Let's go way back machine. We have an archive from 2023. What is this video that has since been deleted? I would suggest, given the state this exoneration document is in, pointing to it as absolute proof. Oh, the earliest archive of it. The earliest archive of that video's page is it not being available. I would suggest that pointing to this document without including notification that a lot of the links are fucking broken and there's some weird stuff in here, and saying that this document is just the silver bullet, it proves everything. No, that's weird and sus, to be honest. Its contents can be found here, where it's covered by a YouTuber along with 2 response pieces, one by one of Taiga's mod and Taiga himself. It opens with the pedophilia accusations. To address the elephant in the room, Taiga did privately commission the content he is accused of, and I leave it to you, the viewer, to make your own judgment on your feelings regarding this. I remain neutral! I have encouraged entire groups of pedophiles. Oh, sorry, encountered. I was very confused for a second. I have encountered, not encouraged. I have encountered entire groups of pedophiles, open maps or unironic lolicons as they call themselves, who lust after real children, who absolutely want drawings and real child abuse completed. Oh, the cartoons? The moral judgment of the cartoon itself. True, it is just a drawing. If your dick gets hard to a drawing of a kid, though, you're a fucking freak. With allowance for the appearance. To be clear, if you've got like a cartoon of some like busty old lady or something, and you say, it's a 2-year-old, you're not a pedo. You're not a pedo freak. If there's a drawing of what looks to any reasonable person like a baby and comes across as a depiction of a baby getting fucking pounded, yeah, and that turns you on, you're a fucking freak. Also, thought experiment. Imagine a photorealistic drawing of a child being violated. A photograph is taken of it. That photograph is indistinguishable from real child sexual assault material, child sexual abuse material. Okay? However, no child was abused. It is a drawing. It is art. Right? That image and drawing itself, I don't think is like a criminal, evil object. I judge it as disgusting. But if this image that is indistinguishable from real child abuse turns you on, you are 100% a pedophile. There's a thought experiment for you. The thing with Lolicon is really that it's a scale of how much does that image give an impression of that character being a child? How much does that give that visceral impression? And if that turns you on, I think you're a fucking weirdo, depending on where on that scale it is, perhaps. It's that simple. The material itself, yeah, it's a drawing. Getting turned on by it, ooh. What if they get turned on by that and not real kids? They're still a freak. It benefits them in an array of ways, such as distracting from direct child abuse and pulling attention to morally detested drawings. Okay, does me talking about anything else draw attention away from it? This is an absurd argument. This is an absolute fucking pedo-brained argument. I'm sorry. And allows them to draw people into debates of such content instead of allows them, don't allow them to. Simply don't allow them to. Sorry, you can't talk about this specific thing I jerk off to and me being a freak because it helps the pedos. No, it doesn't. Monetizes drawings and allows them to draw people into debates of such content instead of focusing on actual abusive tactics they perform. What I find happens far more often, far more often, is you'll say, hey, you jerk off to that cartoon of a little kid getting railed, you're a fucking freak. To deflect from them being some sort of fucking degenerate, they'll go, oh, but it's not a real kid. I don't care. You're a fucking freak if that turns you on. The material itself is not what I'm discussing. I'm discussing your feelings towards it. Here's another thing to consider. A child walking around outside, fully clothed with their parent, having a fun time, going out. They're gonna have McDonald's, yay! Is that freak shit? A kid going to have McDonald's? No. But if you masturbate to it, you're fucking... Right, chipper fodder, wood chipper fodder. Do you understand the distinction between someone being a freak for viewing something and the thing itself being a crime or nasty? Or, I mean, obviously Lolicon's nasty, but you get what I'm saying? In response to this, I stay out of the debate on morality of drawings. You already entered it. What is this link? I'm a bit fucking scared of this link. Oh, that's just underlined, it's not a link. Never mind. Is the drawing immoral? No. If it turns you on, you're a fucking weirdo. And the degree to which you're a weirdo depends on the particular drawing. I hunt people who harm children. Biggest LARP in my fucking life I've seen. I won't accuse someone of hurting real children over the morality of art. Okay? However, I do not blame anyone who finds such content morally reprehensible, and I will not object to negative views on it either. There is an overlap between the two communities, as long as... This is, a lowly fan deflection strategy. It's not just, ooh, they have to be someone who's gonna hurt kids or hurts kids. Or, you know, ooh, the drawing's legal though, there's nothing wrong with the drawing, blah, 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 blah. Another option. Yes, I fucking can call you a freak over what you're into. It's, false dichotomy territory. Conflation of these topics makes my work harder as I, other investigators, the police, and Cyber Tipline have to start investigations asking, is this art I can do nothing about or actual crimes being committed with real victims? This is some fucking copy-pasta lowly fan shit. It is a red flag but not a smoking gun or actual evidence of abuse. Speaking about... Yeah, but we're talking about bullying someone online for being a weirdo. Ooh... I would suggest if you are not including the drawing for people to observe, you've made a judgment. Implicitly. Or are sweeping. We'll see if it comes up later. Speaking of actual harm to children, let's address, quote-unquote, the joke. There is a DM where Taiga is speaking to someone who uncovered a minor posting lewds in their Discord channel. Taiga asks for these lewds, and when the user states they're 17-year-old, in response Taiga says, FFS, who cares? Right. I was able to ask Taiga about this directly. He claims this is a horrible joke he knows was wrong and very deeply regrets. And he made this joke because he was an immature 19-year-old. Hey! What if he said FFS who cares and that 17-year-old then posted nudes? Would it matter if it was a joke then? Would the solicitation of what I believe is federally classified in the US at least as child pornography, would that then just be, haha, joke solicitation, haha? Don't know about the laws in Canada, maybe they're into that there. From all mentions of it, he seems to genuinely regret this. Not only the fact that he said it and got caught, but understanding why a joke like that is not okay. Do you believe Taiga didn't want it? Come on. And how minors are frequently harmed in a very real way when such questions are asked. And even that asking for lewds not given to him directly isn't okay of anyone of any age. True, it's not even direct. Sorry, I forgot for a second that it wasn't even direct. Ooh. Even addresses this and his statements to me match up with his statement here. Is that better or worse? Even addresses this and his statements to me match up with his statement here. A 19-year-old gaining access to a minor's lewds that they do not have permission to receive. Even addresses this and his statements to me match up with his statement here. What this? Clearing the air. Taiga. Clearing the air, Taiga. No, I did not engage in acts of pedophilia nor grooming. I don't even know where this grooming allegation came from. In particular, with the consideration of law, Romeo and Juliet doesn't matter in terms of imagery of children, typically in Western nations at least. I don't know about Canada alone. I know about the UK and I know about the US. I do not know about Canada. This one was funny, Bendelin, because it was not necessarily asked to a minor. Taiga was asking someone for nudes of a minor that isn't that person. Right? Clearing the air. No, I did not engage in acts of pedophilia, nor grooming. I don't even know where this grooming allegation came from. In particular, considering I have never had contact that was sexual of any nature with a minor. This is a blatant lie, and there is zero evidence to support this, and even the original Google Doc never claimed this. Shotacon is not pedophilia, and the word should not be used towards lolicons/shotacons for the sole reason that it lessens the impact of the word and undermines and insults real victims. I don't think it does. When someone says that word, we naturally think that the individual has harmed a poor child. I think they're attracted to children or childlike features, actually. Chomo, child molester, makes me think they've absolutely done it. Me, personally, I don't like pedophiles, even if they have not harmed the child. I'm bigoted like that. I'll admit it, I'm bigoted. Even if a pedophile has not harmed a child, not a fan. Don't care if it's not your choice. You were born wrong, and you shouldn't exist. When someone says that word, I can empathize if you view it as like a curse, but still, you shouldn't exist. When someone says that word, we naturally think that the individual has harmed a poor child. Not necessarily. By using this word towards people who have only indulged in lowly /shota content, it lessens the meaning behind the word. The meaning behind the word isn't that they harm a child. It's to do with their attraction and their tastes. It lessens the meaning behind the word and will ultimately harm the community, since people will now second-guess the claim because it is used towards shota/lolly content. Meaningless argument. I don't think you should necessarily just have faith that when someone says someone's a pedo. Why is it good to not second-guess claims that someone's a pedophile? Why is that bad? Lollies/sotas are not real. Don't care. They should not be treated as actual children. Sure, fine. This isn't to say you must like the content. Each person can like/dislike whatever content they consume, but we shouldn't go as far as dehumanizing a person or making outrageous claims because we don't like it. No, it's because they like it. You misunderstand. In the past, many individuals who cried out that lolly/shota content was equivalent to actual children have been shown to be actual abusers. So, we must understand that imaginary characters do not exist. And if we wish to ignore that and just claim that everything imaginary is real, no, it's not real. Killing in video games makes you a murderer. Enjoying violent media suggests that you have some affinity to violence. On some level. Actually, yeah. Doesn't mean you'd kill people. But, if not, why would I get anything out of engaging with it if I didn't? Here's the thing. A little touch of capacity for violence. Most people have that. Not even necessarily bad, if applied appropriately. Having a little touch of violence in you, sure. Committing crimes in a game means you are a criminal. Having a touch of mischief about you, potentially. Most people have it. Not inherently bad. Right? Teabagging in video games is sexual assault. Banter that is sexual? When I teabag someone in a video game, it's not out of a sense of eroticism. It's domination. The urge for crude domination existing in people. Pretty common. Pretty common, right? Not necessarily unacceptable or totally fucked. But a little touch of being turned on by childlike features. That little touch? That little touch? Not on board with even a little whiff of that. Not even a little whiff of it. Right? 4. Violent video games create violent individuals. Does not logically follow, actually. It does not logically follow that it must create it. I would suggest that it logically follows that you have some affinity for it already. Sure. Sure. When I watch a building being blown up, holy fuck, boom! I have something in me likes that destruction. Even if it's, on an abstract level in a video game or something, there is something in me that connects with it. If you see something that I see, and I look at it and I'm like, That looks like a fucking kid to me. That reads as a kid to me. And you're turned on by it? I'm saying in you is some sort of tinge of liking kids. How strong is it? Hey, maybe less strong than someone who would go out and fuck a kid. You're still a freak. We can all agree that these sound ridiculous, and there have been countless studies disproving this claim. I think you've used such absurd examples that you don't even need studies. Hey. To disprove that killing in video games makes you a murderer, everyone who's killed in a video game would have to be a murderer. You can even just fucking logic it. If you intend to use your platform to help victims, I don't care. Then please go help victims and not attack people who enjoy a type of content you dislike. No. I want to laugh at people. Donate to charity, fundraise, volunteer at shelters. Why don't you? The screenshot of me asking to be shown lewds. Not nudes like people love to claim, of someone suspected to be under 18 was merely a crude joke. However, it was absolutely disgusting to say. I would never make that joke today. It was completely inappropriate. But at the time, that was my sense of humor, and for context, since the original call-out is completely lacking, I was a teenager just finishing off high school, and the person in question was allegedly 17. Why wouldn't you write your name? Write your age. I know why this fucking person would not write their name. Sorry. What is even more gross to me looking back is joking about asking for someone's private images without consent from the actual person. Yes! As well! If anything, I should have been more vocal about how they let a minor post more than 20 images of themselves in the server they were moderating before verifying their age. Addressing the screenshot saying, "Why didn't the gym teacher touch me in middle school? I was so cute back then, I would have molested me." Okay, here's a quote from a shot. Now that I've gotten to the point that is relevant to this document, Whaler, I'll go back to the document I wanted to see. For what it's worth, the fact that he acknowledges this is very atypical from any actual predator I have seen. Even in my limited experience, it's actually not. He also jokes about wanting to be touched by his gym teacher. This is a riff on Mac in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. An entire episode revolves around this concept. Not much more to say on it. It's actually just a joke from a show without humor. Fine. After this point, the doc is quite strange. It leads with accusations of pedophilia and then shifts into drama. I would say if you're going to lead with anything and there's pedophilia involved, probably lead with the pedo accusation, yeah. It's weird when it's at the back, right? Accusations of toxicity and claims of racism and transphobia, with some screenshots that can't be verified following accusations of pedophilia. Taiga's statement is that these parts of the document are fake and edited logs, and after admitting to his joke, I do not see any reason he would lie on this and admit the prior. Because he can get away with it. Are you retarded? Because he can get away with it. There are potentially people involved in the other one who would not let him get away with it. This one, he can claim it's purely people who have an agenda against him and knows there isn't the proof. Hey! Investigator man, did you make sure Taiga was aware that you couldn't prove that they were real? Did you make sure Taiga knew you couldn't verify it before claiming it was fake? Because that's really important information to know. Basically everything after this point appears pretty clearly to be a few or even a single individual who Taiga was angry with for spreading rumors. Right, we've already done the discrediting of the accusers. Now we're dealing with the facts. I will leave most of this to the doc released by one of his mods, Hellsign. I investigate child abusers, not drama. What the hell was the first half of this document then? But from my observations, Hellsign's document appears to be on point. From my observations, it appears to be on point. While silently observing the Discord before approaching Taiga with questions, I could find nothing but support for trans people and no traces of racism while I was investigating it. In fact, it was downright welcoming to the blacks. Downright welcoming. Gilk would even follow up with a second document on toxicity and abuse to unpaid mods who could walk away at any point who were not performing their job. Gilk fails to reveal the screenshots he provides are him speaking, which indicates toxicity to mods may actually be toxicity to a mod. Frankly, this is petty drama, but it appears to be the real reason the doc was created, not for any fear of harm to children, but because an unpaid Discord and Twitch mod was upset. They got fired for not doing their quote-unquote job, to release a doc claiming pedophilia, and half the document is on toxicity. If you make the massive claim that you've exonerated this person of the claim they feel attraction to the features of children and children, I don't think that's happened in this document. You can say the claims, the best you can do is say the claims are baseless, but they're not baseless. The best you can do is say it's down to your perspective and your judgment on the material they commissioned. I'd need to see the material they commissioned. Taiga's statement is that these parts of the document are fake and edited logs. Basically, everything after this point appears pretty clearly to be a few rumors. Yeah. Half the document is on toxicity, and then to create a new one with 70 pages about toxicity and 0 mention of pedophilia indicates to me at least that Gilp knew his claims were false. I don't think it indicates that he knows his claims are false. It indicates that he has, a primary motive that is not that. But if I hated someone, right? If I fucking hated someone because they upset me, and I found evidence that they were a pedo, yeah, I'm gonna fucking use that against them. Right? It doesn't necessarily follow that I know I think it's false. They did link the commission. Where is the link? It ain't here. These aren't links. This here hyperlink is a link to a video that's been removed from YouTube. This down here is a link to a twit longer. I don't see it. If it's here, I haven't gotten to it yet. Also, holy shit, do not fucking link whatever the fuck it is in my chats. By the way. At this point, many of the accusations have become a game of telephone bouncing from one person to the next with nobody digging further, nobody at all noticing the harassment Taiga himself is a victim of. No one realized you're a true victim. Why isn't this fucking guy saying what it is? Okay, hang on, if it's not porn. In summary, I have found clear evidence that the doc against Bungo Taiga was created by individuals, including an IRL stalker whose only interest was hurting Taiga, with zero interest in keeping children safe or morally disliking certain I don't care. The content he has privately commissioned, you will have to make your own judgments on the morality of, but direct abuse, it is not. Okay, he can still be a freak. The stalker's behavior towards Taiga, however, is unquestionably abuse and stalking, and has flown completely under the radar. This is an injustice. In regards to him, Taiga is not actually the abuser, but the abused. Shut up! He acknowledges and understands his mistakes and seems to actively be looking for more ways to ensure his server members are safe. He even asked after I revealed I was a pedophile investigator and looking into him, if I'd be interested in sticking around his server and helping keep an eye out for trouble. I declined, but this shows a genuine interest. How do you know? You don't know. In keeping his community and members there safe, and willingness to invite someone who actively goes after people who do what he is accused of. Always be cautious of exposés. As someone who has performed them, they are one of the least effective methods at going after predators and should be used as a last resort, and are frequently more than not just people with beef going after each other. Despite him not actively using the label lolicon or shotacon for himself, even distancing himself from the term, many in the lolicon community are trying to flock to Taiga, including individuals who do cross the line into abusers hidden amongst them. He more than ever needs help, not belief in his stalker's He needs help, the pedos are coming for him. Because they love him. What? Whatever feelings you have on Taiga are for you to decide, but you should base them off of truth and not fiction written by IRL stalkers. Followed up by a mod, Taiga's own statement, and a video covering it. I've given the link to Taiga to post should my account ever go down for unrelated reasons. It may due to the work I do. I still stand by every word I've written here. Right. I don't know where the original Taiga document is. Hang on. Now, Nicandros, that might work. However, let me just say something. I have never interacted with Smaggledaggle. I don't know if Smaggledaggle is even aware of my existence. I have never spoken with them openly in any space, or directly. I feel like I don't want my first interaction with an individual to be, hey, you got any of that fucking child porn? I want to look at it. I want to judge it. I feel like there's not a good first impression for anyone. Here's some sort of comment on the call-out document. So one of the docs was taken down by Google for violating TOS. The one that includes the pedo stuff was taken down from Google. Not DOX, I don't know why. It just says, we're sorry, you can't access this item because it is in violation of our terms of service. It doesn't specify why, as these things typically don't. There's an archive. I might fucking regret this. Right. I don't feel bad about this guy being called a pedophile. Sorry. I'm not going to look at any more of the images. I don't want to go to jail in the UK. But it's your judgment. We're not talking, damn, looks kind of young. We're talking like, that's a toddler. We're talking, that's a fucking toddler, and it's clearly fetish stuff. Including, like, weird piss fetish stuff. Yeah. You're fucked in the head if that's what turns you on. You're fucked in the head. Yeah, fuck this guy. Freak. It is all cartoon, the stuff. It is all cartoon stuff, so it is itself. It's not abuse of children, but you're still a fucking freak if that turns you on. We're talking like toddler. We're talking toddler cartoon. We're talking fucking fuck me. We're talking I'm like, am I in trouble? Fucking, I would say, having seen the images that were commissioned by Taiga, that private investigator confirmed were commissioned by Taiga, I find it insanely suspect that private investigator did not explain exactly what those images fucking were. Right. Hopefully that shit was not reflected on my glasses. I looked down to try and make sure whatever comes up wouldn't be. Anyway, I like that term. I will from now on be referring to, this Taiga person. Hey! Okay? This Taiga person really, really cares. Really, really cares about precise use of terminology. From this point on, I will be calling Taiga a toddler or baby con. A toddler con. We can all agree these sound ridiculous. Okay, fundraiser stuff. Da-da-da, made a crude joke. Regarding the commission art of my persona, along with well-known characters from Hunter x Hunter, yes, I commissioned art that I liked. It's fine to say you don't particularly like what I've commissioned, nor is anyone saying you have to. However, in no way, shape, or form are any of the characters drawn like or are meant to represent actual children, and it is absurd to make such claims. Unless it is a lie, unless what was in that document is not what's being talked about here, if what is in that document is what's being talked about here, no, they looked like fucking little kids. And was clearly for some sort of freak. There was like a little girl in like jean overalls. On her back, two versions. One like just being like her, and one with like piss dripping out and spreading everywhere from her crotch. And a bunch of other stuff. No, you're a fucking freak. In no way, shape, or form are any of the characters drawn like or meant to represent actual children. Hey, perhaps it's not meant to represent an actual child, but it is definitely meant to evoke the sense that that is a child you are looking at. It definitely gives the impression of childness, and it is absurd to make such claims. If you truly believe such content is akin to actual CP, what do you mean akin? It's not child abuse material, it's fucking weirdo, fucked brain, pedophile adjacent, freak, spank bank material. Is that clearer for you? Then I ask you, have you made such claims or attempts to get rid of the millions upon millions of Rule 34? Hey, unless you change the world and get rid of all weird cartoons, you can't say I'm weird. No, I can. Chances are your favorite waifu or husbando, I don't like anime people, is not over 18. It's a common thing within anime for the characters to be underage. So I genuinely have no idea why it would suddenly be an issue just because the characters are boys. You're being homophobic. Actually, this is homophobia. In regards to the allegations that a minor was posting nudes on our server, no images of minors were ever allowed on the old server. Not that I was even the owner anyway. Context, when I say the old server, I'm referring to a community I was a part of a year before I started VTubing. Okay. I was not the server owner, and ownership was, look, being super into cartoons and that's your main source of sexual arousal makes you weird. When you add in, I need them to look like fucking little kids, when you add that in, you're a real freak. Sorry, is what it is. Fact. Verified by real American patriots. I was not the server owner, and ownership was only transferred to me after the original owner left. Okay. At which point the server promptly died and went inactive. RL fitters have been and always have been banned. Okay. If anything even remotely risky was posted, someone was believed to be minor, the message would be removed. He, she, they should have been kicked, reported, and banned. The notion that I was a bitch about it is just baffling. Haven't read it. Not going back to the archive of that document. Minors do not belong in a space of adult-themed content. True. We had one minor on the entire server who we met during a Destiny 2 raid, if I recall correctly. They were given a role that blocked them from interacting with any not safe for work channel as soon as we found out. Just kill all children. Just if someone gives away that they're a kid, or you figure it out, just boom, knife them, slice the throat. The person is in question was suicidal, and the moderation team as a team decided giving them that role. Minors should not hang out with adults who are fucking gooning all day in Discord. Unless they're suicidal, then we have to let them in, but give them a special role. That's weird as hell. That's very strange. The claims of me not caring or not removing it is nothing more than a blatant lie. And the suggestion that I was solely responsible for every decision made on a server I didn't even own at the time is ridiculous. I only have a vague recollection of any incident. Do I think the investigator is a liar, regarded, or some combination? A combination plus probably really, really into these cartoons. I would suspect. I find it insulting that this accusation is being included, considering the person making it later did to the minor in question.
Do you think the investigator is a liar, regarded, or some combination?
As I said, even with the post itself, they state that due to the fact there are no direct screenshots of Taiga, this may need to be taken with a grain of salt. They are literally admitting they have no evidence. This claim is made up. A screenshot of me discussing Hime-pen, presumably Japanese name or something, were all taken before her Google Doc had even been released. At that point, I knew as much as anyone else did at the moment, and I was far from the only one to... I don't know what this is. Racism images shown within the document are false except for admittedly one. The rally cat tweet of "fuck white people, am I right my fellow blacks" was done by me. I was 15 when I tweeted, who cares? Transphobia is blatantly false. I've always promoted trans positivity in my community, and I actively call it transphobia whenever I encounter it. I'm sure I have accidentally addressed individuals based on the mannerisms of voice without thinking. Blah blah blah. General toxicity, yes, I'll admit I can be an absolute cunt behind the scenes. Fine, who cares? Here's the final paragraph. To end this document, the reason why I haven't addressed this sooner was because, admittedly, I was terrified. You get this wave of people who judge you, and immediately find you guilty without letting you voice your side of the story. So I just started blocking people because I felt I was having a panic attack. After calming down and discussing it with some close friends, I realized this document was needed. I just want my side to be heard, and for others to realize that I am not the monster that was painted within the document. I've worked on my flaws and have attempted to make good notions with my platform. I did a charity event not long ago raising money for children within hospitals. It felt nice helping others and enjoying the stream, but of course in the back of my mind it always reminded me of all the things people told me and made me question myself. It genuinely all drove me to a corner that I didn't want to return to, so I ask you sincerely, please hear me out and make your judgment. Heard you out. I saw the archive of the document. Not a big fan of you. Not a big fan of you. Sorry you were born wrong. But apart from that, get owned. Highly recommend. Highly, highly recommend. Not, if you decide to look into this yourself, looking at the archive of the original call-out document. Do not recommend it. Perhaps even for, like, legal danger purposes, depending on the laws of the country you reside in.